Anime movies. We've all watched some anime movies before, whether it's a continuating one, non-canon, or an original slash standalone one. But I feel like there hasn't been a standalone movie that shook the community. Like some stuff back then we had with Your Name, Silent Voice, I Wanna Eat Your Pancreas, maybe Makia, and probably more. This video is mainly going to talk about standalone movies. It could be from a source material or an original one because non-canon slash continuating movies are still popping. You know why? Because of the moolah, the punene. Punene? As someone who has watched 127 anime movies, yeah, I've seen my fair share of the medium, and also I watched some more recently just for this video because I haven't watched one in a while. Standalone movies. I think it's a pretty simple thing to decipher why these type of movies are successful. There's already a pre-existing source that probably is very big. All these shonen movies still breaking records. We saw that with Mugen Train, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, and more. It's these type of production that gives the most amount of money, and also it's probably easier to make rather than a 12 episode anime. Even for non-shonen movies, like non-shonen, it's still popping off and breaking records very recently. The Spy Family movie, although it was released not long ago, but still was successful. Again, they kind of sacrificed the series because now season 2 is only Cloverworks that are working on it, and which studio did the movie, so it wasn't on par production wise for the TV series compared to previous seasons, but it probably paid off really well. The Hiking movie did well from what I heard, and they brought back the original director from season 1 to 3. Even the Slam Dunk movie, a show from the 90s, did amazing because the Japanese audience loved the series, and now it's the 6th highest grossing anime movie ever. In a business standpoint, producers or companies mostly understand what makes them more money or not. Sometimes they do sacrifice the TV series for the movie, like with My Hero. You might hate the movies, but they still make a lot of money from those non-canon movies. Even the 3rd movie, because it gives the studio more money and it's easier to produce. Think about it. What's more harder to produce? A 24 episode season with probably only 1 year and a couple of months to produce it, or work on a movie that is equivalent to 5 or 6 episode series with maybe the same time or less, I don't know. Of course, the term movie budget doesn't really matter to a certain extent. If you want more movement, then yes, you need more money. But at the same time, if you don't have talent on board, then the budget won't even matter. Also, the more important thing is the content itself. I'm not saying you need the most mind-bending, creamified story or plot so people watch the movie. No, it's more so entertaining or not. Movies like My Hero and a lot more with the same type of concept still get the revenue because people watch those type of movies to get entertained. It's all about enjoyment. I mean, yeah, having a good story or plot helps too. It's very evident why these popular franchises get so much movies. You know why? Money. I mean, recap movies are just blatantly for money. Not to my other point, standalone movies. Standalone movies are still around, definitely, but I feel like there hasn't been 1 or 2 more movies that really stood out and shot in popularity in a while. Of course, money-wise, there's still movies that get a ton of revenue, like Makoto Shinkai's Suzume, that almost beat Your Name. Well, not almost, a 50 mil gap is a lot. And the return of Hayao Miyazaki's film that did really well and won an award. Of course, there's probably other examples. From my POV, no one talks about these shows. Maybe here and there about the animation or a couple of reviews, but besides that, I don't see much of it. This is not one of those videos like, oh, this show is good, but the hype isn't there, or the Google search thing is dead. I'm not basing it off of that because I am not retarded. Standalone movies are still being produced in a frequent basis, but rarely any of those movies get much recognition from the community. I think in a movie format, it's harder to make a good story because of the runtime compared to a 12 episode series. I mean, it's like cut in half. Most of the time, it's harder to get you invested to the storyline, plot, characters in any genre of movies. If your movie revolves around characters, like a romance movie, let's say, you need to make the viewer care about them, and fleshing out characters in a short period of time is not the easiest thing. Same with other aspects of the movie. And I think that's what is probably lacking a movie that majority of people like. Everyone has different tastes on what is good or bad, but there's always going to be a critically acclaimed good movie like A Silent Voice, Your Name, I Wanna Eat Your Pancreas, and more back then. Same goes with shows. A show that most people like will attract more people. Even the movies I watch for this video, some of them fall short on the story or just the execution of it. There was potential of these movies being really good. It had a good all-round story, concept, plot, but sometimes it fell short on how they used those aspects of the movies, or they just kind of fumble at the end of the movie. While a great looking movie can attract some people, but it's not a deciding factor of it being popular or good. Yes, Makoto Shinkai movies or Ghibli movies look absolutely phenomenal, but again, I don't think that is the main factor of it. Having a great storyline, writing, characters can go a long way. I did watch some movies, like recent release movies for this video, although it doesn't change anything, but you know, I haven't watched one in a while. So I watched 7 of them, or 6. Well, it's 7. I was planning to watch 2 more, which was these 2, but I decided to stop. I don't know why. I'm gonna do a little review on all of them. Hopefully I don't go on a tangent. I'll try to keep this part short. Also, I'm reviewing this off the top of my head. I mean, the script literally says go from the top of your head. I don't know why I put that there. Anyways, numero uno. Cider no okay, that's hard. Words bubble up like a soda pop. I do think this movie is enjoyable. I think the characters are good. I think the art style is interesting. Really reminds me of a Great Pretender. But again, this is the same thing I said before. I think I fell short. I feel like the show was not focusing on the romance. I feel like there was a different message off of this. But I feel like the characters itself wasn't developed that well because sometimes they just montage them doing random shit, which is fine. But I feel like when that climactic moment hit, I feel like it didn't hit as much because I feel like we didn't get to know the characters that well. It still did an okay job, but at the end, it fell short. I still really enjoyed it though. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'll put a rating somewhere on screen. Kagami no Kojou. I fucking love this movie. I think this is easily top 10 movies, anime movies. I don't know what's in my top 10, don't ask me, but it had a great concept. It's such a simple slash Disney-esque concept, but it really explores some quite dark things. I felt really invested in these characters, although some of them was really not that on screen. I like the plot twist, again, the concept, the story, overall writing for these characters are sublime. I think the characters really push through this movie, and the ending of the movie, although I wasn't expecting the ending to be like that, but goddamn, it was so satisfying. I recommend watching this movie. And yes, production wise, I think the direction was really good. Some interesting storyboards, some interesting framing work. Although it's a simple style, but I think it does really well, and the animation part was amazing too. It's nothing too crazy, but at the same time, it's really impressive. And they had Norio Matsumoto. I mean, come on. Natsu no Tunnel, Sayonara no Deguchi. This movie was on my radar for quite a while. The trailer looks interesting. I think I have like the ending song in my playlist for a while. But again, it's the same thing as Soda Pop. It fell short on it. I feel like the concept was there, the plot was there, the characters were there, but again, the overall climax of the show, I feel like we needed to explore these characters more. The overall ending of the movie could have executed better in terms of the overall concept of it and the writing aspect of it. Although I, of course, enjoyed this movie, characters weren't flashed out that much. I still like their dynamic. Sometimes it can be rushed. Ending part could have been better. The execution part was still not the greatest, but I still like the movie. Oh yeah, again, visuals, stunning. The overall visuals and art direction, compositing. I love the compositing aspect of it where the like light blue shade, which I really like. I do like the CG aspects of it, of the tunnel. I like the concept of the tunnel, how it looks. So yeah. Maboroshi. I can't lie to you, I really enjoyed the show. It's the Okonomori team, and as a Okonomori fan, I like most of her work. It's also a MAPPA project. I think some people that work a lot with MAPPA worked on it. But I think I fucking love the movie. Again, the concept, plot, story was interesting. I love the characters, I love their dynamic, I love the relationships. There is a lot of not even nitpicking. There's a lot of aspects of the movie that I didn't really like. I feel like overall this movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. I love the characters, the story. I can see why people don't like this. Maboroshi's production was great. Personally, I like this one more compared to the Ino one, the Sansara one. Objectively, Ino was the better production in my opinion. I love Maboroshi's production more. The visuals, I love the character designs, I love the overall art style. The art direction was phenomenal. The music was great. They used a lot of CG, which I didn't see some of them, which was great. I mean, the same team made Makia, which visually looks amazing. Future me here. This part is gonna be longer, so I'll just do this. I'm just gonna cut the other movies out and do quickfire one. Inuo 6 out of 10. Bokuga. Wait, which one is this one? Bokuga 7 out of 10. And Kimuo 5 out of 10. So yeah, back to the video. Oh, you thought you were done? Fucking bitch! I think some other technical factors that can make the movie popular or not. One is cultural differences. Believe it or not, guys, Japanese people like different stuff compared to people outside of Japan. I know, it's crazy. My point is that there's movies that solely is for the Japanese audiences. For example, why do they still even produce Doraemon or Detective Conan movies when most people don't care about them? Because the Japanese love it and it does really well money-wise. Even outside of anime, the idol culture is a very common thing and a popular one at that in Japan. That's why VTubers and idol animes do really well. Same goes with outside of Japan. Makoto Shinkai and Ghibli movies are the highest grossing thing because it attracts not just the Japanese audience, but people internationally, even people who don't watch anime. The other point is release date and advertising stuff, you know, stuff. Since anime is now way more popular compared to like 10 years ago, the demand for movies to be released in most corner of the world are now really high. And I feel like companies that do the logistical aspects for anime movies in Japan are still adapting to the immense popular of anime. Of course, it's a lot of risk. Sometimes it does do horribly outside of Japan, and you would waste all that time and money for nothing. And the worst part is the release date. Most of the time, if not all the times, the release date for movies in most sites are mainly for the Japanese release. Most movies, even popular movies, take probably 2 to 3 months to be in other countries. I know that Your Name back then got released really late for the US, and I feel like most of the time there isn't an official date when it come out in different countries. You probably have to check in whatever movie app you have regularly, and of course sometimes it does say when. I think there is still a lot of hidden gems when it comes to anime movies, standalone movies. Even if most won't see it, I do think if you just search for some movies, there will be some that might pique your interest. At the end of the day, there is still movies that will try something different. It could be just for the audience or just to satisfy the people working on the movies because of just passion. Either way, recently there's some promising movie releasing soon. It could be sequel movies or standalone movies. We got Look Back, a promising looking movie from a one-shot manga by your boy himself, Sister Lover or Nine, or Tatsuki Fujimoto. We got the return of Naoko Yamada directing the movie, person who did A Silent Voice and Liz in the Bluebird, arguably the most beautifully directed movie ever, and some other movies that look interesting and beautiful. I don't know what this video was, but hopefully you guys enjoy the concept. And yeah, if you guys like this video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a like. Comment down below what are your thoughts about anime movies and such. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.